guys, welcome to Atheist Bible Study number 9. Today I'm going to be covering Genesis chapters 27 and 28. Now let's back up a little bit just to review. We had Abraham, and Abraham had Isaac, and he also had Ishmael, who's going to come into the story at the end of this one. So Ishmael is older than Isaac. And then Isaac married Rebekah, who's his cousin, his second cousin, and they had two boys, twins, Esau and Jacob. Chapter 27, Jacob gets Isaac's blessing. Now, Isaac is getting old, and his eyesight is getting weak, and he calls on his son, his favorite son, Esau, and he says to him, go out and hunt, and get some game, and bring it back, and cook it, and give it to me, and I will bless you. So, Rebekah was listening to the conversation between Esau and Isaac, and she goes to Jacob and she tells him, go out to the flock and get 2 goats, and I will cook them, and you take them and give them to your father and pretend to be Esau and get his blessing. And Jacob says, well, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I'm a man of smooth skin, so if my father touches me, he's going to know I'm Jacob, and he'll curse me rather than give me his blessing. Rebekah says, do as I say, and the curse will fall on me. Don't worry about it. So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared some tasty food, just the way his father liked it. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. She also covered his hands and the smooth part of his neck with the goat skins. Then she handed her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread she had made. That was Genesis chapter 27, verses 14 through 17. If you want to look at it, remember, I'm reading the NIV version. The only reason I even read that one was because it says that Rebekah dressed Jacob in Esau's clothing. So, I'm picturing her physically, dressing him, putting his clothes on, and something that you would do with, a young child, getting them dressed. And, I don't know, maybe that's not what it means. Maybe she just handed him the clothes and he put it on himself. But it says she put it on him, and that just seems really silly to me. So Jacob's all covered in fur, and he goes to Isaac with the food, and Isaac's like, who are you? Because I can't see. And Jacob says, it's me, your son Esau. Isaac says, well, come here and let me touch you because you sound like Jacob. So he does, and he touches him, and he says, well, it's the voice of Jacob but the hands of Esau, so I'm just gonna have to believe you, I guess. Let's back up just 1 minute here. I think it's funny that Jacob, before this happened, when he was talking to Rebekah, that he knew that Isaac was going to want to touch him. This is something he knew was going to happen. And it's silly, because that's really not how you would be able to tell your kids apart. Honestly, you should know your kids' voices apart well enough that you don't have to touch them to know who they really are. But Isaac didn't, and Jacob knew that he was going to have to do that, so they made the whole thing. I just think that was a whole stupid thing they put together. It says, you have the voice of Jacob, but the hands of Esau. Are you really my son Esau? And Jacob says, I am. And that was that. He bought it. Isaac says, well, come and kiss me so I can bless you. So he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you of heaven's dew and of earth's richness, an abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you, and peoples bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed. So it said when he caught the smell of Jacob's clothes, he knew it was Esau, and he blessed him. So I would compare that to a dog sniffing another dog's butt to figure out who they are. Now Jacob's blessed, and he leaves. And Esau comes back with his animals and his food that he hunted, cooks it, takes it to Isaac. So now Isaac realizes what happened, and he's fucking pissed. And he's like, oh, I already blessed your brother, what am I gonna do? And Esau's like, do you only have one blessing? You can't bless me too? And he's basically like, well, what more can I do for you? I already blessed your brother, so... And what do you want? Esau's upset. He cries out. He says, first he takes my birthright, and now my blessing. So poor Esau. Poor Esau. He's left with nothing, and he really didn't do anything wrong. His only crime was being Isaac's favorite. At this point, Esau is basically begging for his father to bless him. And his father, Isaac, answered him, Your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck. Now, to be honest with you, I have no fucking clue what that last sentence meant. You will throw his yoke from off your neck. I didn't really look it up. I didn't really look into it. I don't really care that much what that particular sentence meant. But if you do know what that means, let me know in the comments below, because I'm curious, just not curious enough to look it up. So that ends that story. Jacob got the blessing and Esau got nothing. But I mean, we kind of saw that coming, right? Whenever Jacob stole his birthright and he was going to let him starve to death if he didn't sell it to him. So Jacob's kind of a prick. Alright, this next story, it's still the end of chapter 27, and then it's going to go into chapter 28. So I'm probably not going to like mention when that happens, just know that it does. Chapter 27 and 28, Jacob flees to Laban. Esau holds a grudge against Jacob for stealing basically everything he had. And he swears to himself, he says to himself, the days of my father's mourning are near, and after that I will kill my brother Jacob, more or less. Rebecca's told what Esau said, and she goes and she warns Jacob, and she tells him, go to my brother in Haran, and stay there until your brother gets over this, until he's not angry anymore. I just wonder who told Rebecca that Esau said this, because it said when she was told, yet right before that it said that Esau said it to himself. He was alone and he said this to himself, so I have no idea who could have told Rebecca about it, but she knows. She was told by somebody. And so she sends Jacob away. Rebecca then goes to Isaac and tells him if Jacob takes a wife from this land, which I believe they are still in Beersheba, my life won't be worth living. Basically, she says if my son marries a wife from here, I'm gonna kill myself, which is a little dramatic, Rebecca. Come on. You're gonna kill yourself just because your son is going to marry somebody from Beersheba? That's a little ridiculous. It's kind of stupid. If you're going to kill yourself for that reason, then just do it. So Isaac, again, blesses Jacob, and he tells him to go to Haran and get a wife from Laban, who is Rebecca's brother. So they're telling him specifically to go get a cousin to marry. Again, cousins, sisters, keeping it in the family. I wonder how long this Bible goes on where they're just strictly inbreeding before they stop. I don't know, because I haven't read ahead, but it just keeps happening. Esau learns about this. He learns that his father sent Jacob to get a wife from another land. And so he realizes that the women in Beersheba, where they are not pleasing. They're displeasing to Isaac. And so he decides, well, I better not marry one of these women because I want my dad to be proud of me. Esau goes to Ishmael. And Ishmael, remember, is Abraham's son. He's Isaac's brother. That was back video number 4, Abram to Abraham. I believe it's in Genesis chapter 16 if you want to go look it up and read about Ishmael. That's where he's from. He's Isaac's brother, half-brother. So Esau goes to Ishmael and he marries one of Ishmael's daughters. So again, a cousin. Same thing. In addition to the wives that he already had. So let's break this down for a second. He married his cousin, and in addition to the wives he already had. Not wife he already had, wives. So he's already got at least 2 wives. And now he's going to take a cousin and make her another wife. So now he at least, we know, has 3 wives. Is polygamy okay? Or are you gonna go to hell if you have more than one wife? Because it's illegal. Like, I know it's illegal in most places here. But is it morally wrong? I personally don't think so. I think, you know, whatever. If you want to marry more than one wife and all your wives are okay with it, far be it for me to tell you not to. You love who you love, and if that happens to be more than one person, great. But I think that this is, like, against what Christianity preaches. I think that polygamy is not really okay in the eyes of most Christians. So it's interesting to me that Esau, who's the son of Isaac, who's the son of Abraham, who was a prophet of God, has 3 wives, at least, maybe more. Chapter 28, Jacob's dream at Bethel. Now, Jacob left Beersheba and he started out towards Haran to go find him a wife, and he stops somewhere along the way, and he lays down on a stone as a pillow, and he goes to sleep. He dreams of this golden, stairway descending from heaven with God, I guess, at the top of it, and God comes down and more or less blesses him. If you really want to know exactly what was said during this dream, go read it. It's Genesis 28 verses 12 through 15. But he basically blessed him and told him, hey, I'm God and you're blessed. When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he thought, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. He was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. How awesome is this place? That's what he said. So, I think he, woke up in the middle of the night after this dream, and he's like, wow, this place is so cool. Early the next morning, Jacob takes the stone that he had slept on, and he sets it up like a pillar, and he pours oil on it, and he names the place that they're in, or that he's in, Bethel. At the end of chapter 28, Jacob makes a deal with God. He says, if you help me get through this journey, and you provide me food and clothing and stuff, I'll serve you, and you will be my God. You know, I think that Jacob makes a really good point here. At first, whenever I saw this, I was like, well, that's kind of stupid. You're only going to worship God if he helps you. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of worshiping God, right? But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, looking at it as an atheist, it makes sense. Hey, God, you scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. Basically, not quite so much in the same sense, but, you help me out, and I have a reason to worship you. You don't help me out, and I don't have a reason to worship you. I think it's a good message, and I don't think it was intentional, but that's what I get from it. And I would like to say that for me, I can relate to that, because God has never done anything for me. Mainly because he's probably not real. So, no, I don't worship a God, because I have no reason to. I have nothing to thank God for. I mean, anything that I have in my life I've earned. My husband, God didn't have anything to do with that. I met him, he fell in love with me, and I with him, and we got married. My kids, that wasn't God. I had sex, we got pregnant, I had a baby. I mean, I have nothing to make me want to believe in God, or make me think that I should. Anyway, speaking of kids, my son just distracted me and took me away for a minute, and now I don't remember what I was saying. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, so let me know what you think about this story. Let me know what you think about my video. Like it, share it. I say that in all my videos, but seriously, share it to your Facebook or Twitter or wherever. The more you share, the more views I get, and the more quickly I'll be putting up videos. I've decided that I'm going to wait until my views get a little higher for each video before I post the next one, which is why this one was so late, because I did post 2 videos back to back in 1 week, the week before last, and the views were really low on them. People weren't really watching them. So now that they're up a little bit more, here's this video. So watch this one and share it. It's very important to me that this video gets shared, because if people aren't seeing it, then it's pointless for me to be making them. So keep watching, keep sharing. So if you haven't already subscribed, there should be like right in here somewhere, there should be a subscribe button. So, well, it doesn't say subscribe, it's actually like an atheist symbol, but if you click on it, it'll subscribe you to my channel. So do that, and share it, like it, let me know what you think, and come back and check out the next one whenever I post it. And, oh, my son just came in here. You want to say hi? Don't touch that, come here. What's your name?
Braxton.
Braxton. He wanted to say hi. How old are you?
4.
4. This is my son, Braxton, and he is 4, and he came in here while I was finishing up, he wanted to say hi to YouTube. So go ahead, say hi to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.